Thank you, Lena, for inviting us here and for these amazing futuristic classes. As already said, I'm Sarah, and for you who doesn't know me yet, I'm Swedish. I've been working for the Swedish bank, or the Nordic bank, Nordea, for the past 15 years. I've been commercializing the first payment service directive from Frankfurt for the bank. And then the last 7 years of the bank journey, I was building up open banking basically from visions in PowerPoint into the reality of the bank with nordeaopenbanking.com in 2022. And that was the point of time when I realized I'm never going to get the possibility to commercialize all those ideas I have around open banking through the bank. So I decided to make a big step outside, and I went to the company Enable Banking. Enable Banking is, in its simplest form, an open banking aggregator. So like my former colleague said, I went to the other side. In this panel, we're going to have a topic that I started touching actually for about 3 years ago, still in the banking scene, when we looked at what will the impact be from the banking perspective based on open finance back then, FIDA, as the topic is today. And for the last 2 years, I've been having a look at what will this practically mean? What can the practical use cases be? What products do we see today on the market based on open banking that will be able to either be expanded or improved or more engaging thanks to FIDA? So with that, liebe Damen und Herren, dear ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome up my fellow participants in the panel. Julia, David, Dalibor, Jürgen, may I ask you to join me?
Good afternoon, everyone.
I love the glasses. I was a bit jealous that I already had my glasses and didn't wear my contacts because I can't wear the glasses on top of my existing glasses. Yeah, I need to ask Olena if we're allowed to bring them home. Oh, souvenirs. So, warm welcome. I already did my own introduction. Jürgen, a quick word about yourself, what you're doing, and where is your expertise?
Thank you very much. I'm Sales Director of Finance for CRIF Austria. I do this for more than 13 years. And we do a lot of data providing, but also with open banking. And so from my origin, I'm mathematics and business administration. And I also have seen the other side in my history. I was working for a banking group. So I know also the needs and the hints in some cases for banks.
Hello everyone, my name is Dalibor Kostic. I am the country manager of GD Next Austria. GD Next is a solution provider that has its roots in open banking starting 2018. And since then we have worked together with customers, especially in the finance industry, and we have delivered solutions, we have delivered our expertise, so we support our customers with expertise in bank APIs, in KYC, financial messaging, and we deliver end-to-end solutions, customer-specific solutions in these fields. In the last years before joining GD Next, I have actually spent some time with Jürgen in the same company, so it's a coincidence here. Working also especially on the topics of identity verification, open banking, and especially in the field of account information and using this data for risk assessment.
Right. Hello, everyone. I'm David Vopelka, and my personal background is actually in the banking. My whole career, like I started in a number of subsidiaries in Erste Group, and before, like 6 years ago, I actually went to the other side as well, and I co-founded a company that is like helping the banks in the region, you know, on their data AI transformation journeys. So we managed to grow the company to 250 people and supporting all the usual suspects in the region, like Erste Group and so on. So that's like my one hat. I'm like trying to manage this kind of service provider business, but still in my heart, I'm still like very much focused on the industry, and what is the most exciting, at least for me, is to actually see some improvement in the banking as such. Yeah? So that's actually why we have like a subsidiary company, something like similar like the panelists before. So we are also having like subsidiary company that is acting as a non-banking lender and in SME market, and it's actually a pretty exciting market to be in, because you know it's open banking, everything basically enabled these non-banking lending for us. So it's yeah, that's shortly about my perspective. So hopefully I can share some insightful experiences.
Cool, thanks. My name is Julia. I'm from Alternative Lending. We do SME lending in 5 European markets, mainly Nordics. My main area of expertise is system, process, and product development, as goes in line the change management in the companies. And yeah, in our company we started digital 9 years ago. We're still digital, and we are lending from 2K to 3 million euros at the moment. And the fastest, as an example, we did in 8 minutes. So that's the digital lending for the unregulated markets.
That's pretty impressive if you look at how the big banks are doing it today. Next question. And this one we take in a very, very quick round. If we look to the next 5 years, what will have the biggest impact? Will regulations have the biggest impact? Will technology have the biggest impact? Or will innovation have the biggest impact? Choosing between the three. One word.
Innovation.
Regulation.
I guess regulation as usual.
I think the biggest impact will be still on innovations like generative AI and self AI, right? So the systems that will be developing by themselves. But yeah, it will be a question who will limit those, and this is definitely the regulation.
Then I need to say technology. Super. Share me a few more words on why you chose.
Why did I choose that? So regulations not, because I think regulations can also be enabler for business, and in some cases it protects the business even for the bigger banks, and because they have the staff and the possibility to adapt all these regulations. And for a new kid on the block, it's quite difficult to fulfill all this increasing number of regulations. So therefore, I think it's not that threat. It could be also a possibility for business. Why innovation? I think it must be the key driver, because we have a demographic problem approaching to us. So we have to do the same jobs, the same work with less people. We have a lack even today of specialists. So it's necessary to do something in that way, to be quicker, faster, and more efficient with less people.
But then that's awesome, because right now we have AI coming for us and coming as a servant for us in many cases, who is able to 3x or even 5x the efficiency of ourselves.
I think this is the only chance for Europe to be a competitor in the world market, and that we can even have a business in 10 years and not be a subsidiary of China or US.
Dalibor?
Well, I chose regulation, but I'm also saying we need innovation, of course, and we need technology. But it's, from my perspective, regulation because the next 5 years are going to be interesting, or the next years, because we are, especially when we talk about open banking, open finance, we have all this regulation that will come in the next years. So the question is, when exactly are they coming, and when the companies are going to implement their solutions based on that. But we have PSD3, PSR, we have FIDA, and I see those regulations in this case. Everybody will think more. Most of the people would maybe think regulation is bad. I see them in this case as an enabler for new business, new value-added services that companies can add to their portfolio. It's the fintechs that can do a lot, I think, and that can also support banks and other companies, solution providers that could help in enhancing the APIs. This is what everything is based on. So I see it as an opportunity, and I see it also as an opportunity for banks and all the other institutions that need to participate. Well, they need to. It's a lot of work, but on the other hand, I see that I would say that open banking just started. With PSD2, they had to move, the banks had to move. Hopefully the banks learned a lot, and hopefully all the others learned a lot from that. And now there is still time to prepare. It's time to prepare the knowledge base, the people, work on the use cases, and also, of course, work on the technology side and prepare all the APIs and everything that is required to move on. These are when we talk about open finance, these are the, let's say, regulations that we see in the first place. But there are also other regulations that are coming in the next years, and other solutions like we heard today about the digital identity wallet. This could also be supportive for open finance, going towards the way of enabling ecosystems and having smoother user experiences in combining those solutions. So at the end, I think it will be these regulations. They are some kind of framework where we can build the solutions on towards ecosystems and towards more efficient processes in the future.
Yeah, so from my perspective, why I choose regulation, I think it's double-edged sword. Like it can actually enable things, or it can slow down things massively. So in a general context of Europe, we need some let's say external push to get more unified, to get more to get more open and so on. Yeah. So if you can, like, if you would move into the past, like 5-10 years, to my let's say. To the times where the first open banking was pushed to the Europe, like nobody actually, everyone was like a little bit scared, and everyone had their own strategy around it. But let's look at the SME nowadays. Yeah, you have so many fintechs, so many players that are acting as a lender. So there is, let's say, brewing competition for banks. But I don't think it's like a problem, because the biggest problem is that is what Mario Draghi is saying, yeah? And I think we can all agree or disagree with him in many cases, yeah? But I definitely agree with one of his quote, that Europe needs to figure out a way how to be more flexible in financing the SMEs. I think this is crucial for Europe, and this is really a problem. And if you look at it, this competition is crucial for actually putting the innovation power and stealing all these like smart brains and new talents into trying to be more flexible, harmonize the passportization and things that were said before, like to basically open, like unify the European market a little bit, and at the end of the day provide faster, flexible, more tailored financing to the SMEs, yeah, because that's the end game, and that's the problem we as Europe actually are having. So it's on us to actually help ourselves, yeah. And regulation is and was the driver so far, so that's why I think it's gonna be the driver in the future as well.
Can't agree more, but when we're speaking about the regulation, it's also a limitation, right? So the moment if we compare, and it was in the first part, if we compare European Union with US, it's totally different approach, right? And we need to move fast, and we want to be scalable, and we want to be closer to the customer. So this is why innovation. Now we're thinking, all of us, we're thinking about, how to do the business banking, right? How to do the banking for the SMEs, but we really think, okay, so how the customer is actually buying, right? What customer actually needs. It's just that we want to sell. So from my perspective, we need to innovate from the customer perspective. We need to innovate and be closer to them and find the digital wallet. If it will be enabled in the right way, it will be a huge, huge success. So far, by hearing all of the participants today, not in all the countries we also have the EAD solution. So from Nordics, it will be like, how so? Right? For us, like EAD solutions, it's like very ordinary daily part of our lives. So it's even hard to imagine. So the innovation that could brought additional possibilities to the business should be evolved, either through the regulation, either companies have to push, to promote, to accelerate those, that customers would really use them. And customer thinking is the key for success, right? So innovating for the customer and not only for the business, from the business, it should be the key.
Thank you. Me saying technology is coming from that with every regulation we have, there's an impact on the technology. Open banking has had an impact on the technologies of the banks because suddenly they got API platforms, not only for the internal APIs, but some banks also modernized their infrastructure with the help of open banking and with the API platforms. Nordea and Deutsche Bank being two good examples of taking this opportunity not only to comply to PSD2, but also to make a technology shift of the company and to bring the bank into the next phase, into real time instead of into batches. Looking to technology, that's what I strongly believe in is going to make new cases possible. And I have a saying where I love to innovate by combining. So innovation through combinations. What new combinations will we be getting with open finance when we get additional data points? How can we combine those data points into the existing products or into new products? How can we make a new setting with the technology that we have, continue to combine it, package it, repackage it, position it, reposition it, to see what we can either learn or what we can bring out to the market as a new and as a next step. So that was a bit about what we do expect, a bit about what we see going forward. What's going to stop the progress?
What's going to stop the progress? Yeah, I think...
or try to slow down the progress?
If the bank, for example, keeps too long the way they did it all the last centuries, so you have to face the future. You have to anticipate what's going on, and going back to regulations and all the innovation discussion. There are a lot of competitors growing up, and so not only banks are doing business with SMEs. There's a growing number of non-banks, alternative providers of such solutions, and because we see that, we are in this case agnostic. We work with everybody who wants our data or our solutions or consultings, and therefore it's necessary to integrate all the new stuff. For example, if you re-engineer your scorecards, also add all the possibilities of open data, or if you make your for example, we have some models predicting the need of a loan of SMEs, of companies, and if you add here open data and open banking information, you get it more sharper and precise than if you don't do it. And this is an advantage. And in the long run, if you don't adapt and improve your models, you won't make any business anymore. And the market will create. Yeah.
Well, I think first of all the legislations need to be faster, not slowing down the pace and not waiting too long until they decide on when PSD3 going to happen and all the other regulations that are coming. First of all, that. And then the question is, how are the institutions going to react on that? And here is what I said before. I hope they are going to learn from banks in the past and not try to block things because this will slow down the process. Otherwise, if they participate early and cooperate, this will benefit, I think, all other participants in the market. So I think looking back, the banks were not really pushing and trying to participate at the beginning. And this could happen
May
also
I
with some other players.
counter-argue on that one?
Sure. Maybe it depends on the region. Yeah, because we know there are differences. Like Nordics, yes, Eastern Europe is also a bit faster. Yeah, but the region where we are, like this region, is a bit different when it comes to that, I would say.
I can't say too much about that one, but the fact that GDPR and open banking came at the same time and the constant prioritization of GDPR over open banking from a ex-banker's perspective made it very difficult because every time we wanted to go to the core systems, the GDPR people came and said, hey, we have a regulation here. We get the VIP card. Give us the VIP lane. And we were just forced to let them through. And then they got the access. And we had to wait. So building open banking, I think, was the biggest test of patience in my entire history. Please.
Yeah, so from my perspective, what's going to slow us all down is, I would say, two things. Yeah? One is a little bit on a higher level. Yeah? So we mentioned regulation. So I will probably say what we all know, that regulation, it needs to be implemented correctly, and we need to have like the right dialogues. We need to understand each other. And in Europe, it's tricky. You know, we have different languages, and like all these things are different to if you look, for example, to US or other areas. Yeah. So I think this is all root cause why the implementation of the regulation is actually turning from the maybe good idea to actual very painful process to put it into the reality of the daily business. Yeah. So I think we need to be better, and we need to not just complain, but we need to try to actively have the dialogue with the regulator, educate, explain why it's not good for our companies if it's like that and this. So I think it's really about having dialogue, and I think Europe in general is struggling a little bit on this. Yeah? So I think that's actually again much, that's the high level thing. But then I see more like a low level blocker, and again it's let's say the conservative approach of every single company, which is also beyond the control of a bank, for example. Yeah. So let's imagine. We were talking about it a lot today, generative AI. Now you can, for example, use it to massively ramp up productivity of your underwriters, and you can, as a bank, you can be much more tailored and much faster in underwriting process towards your SME customers, especially the big ones. So this is what the technology is enabling you. Yeah, but the problem is you need to change the people. Innovation, and the people are working in a bank, and you cannot fire them so easily, you know. So these things actually slows the innovation a lot, and we are talking a lot with our clients about business case of the things we do, and it's always like, okay, we can let's say reduce the team in half. No, that's not the right way to do, because you simply cannot do it in many countries in Europe. And so it's much much harder, and we need to focus on what the people should do instead of wasting time searching in some documents or stuff like that. What they will do instead to bring some higher value, and this is much bigger challenge for us as a consultants, for the people designing the processes and the change. Yeah, so I think that's the second biggest blocker. Yeah, that we cannot just simplify people and replace them with AI. That's not that simple.
So from my end, two things. So one is the legacy systems, right? It's not always easy to run the technology on some legacy which is like 15 years old. And it's, we all know it's pretty hard to change those to something totally new, fancy, sexy, and so on. But another one is the mindset. Like looking into the audience, we are all like 30 plus, 40 plus years old already. And doing the SME business, we need to look for the younger generation as well. So those who are now for like 15 years old, 16, 18 years old, because they will be running the businesses in just a few years. I recently met a guy, he's 17 years old, he has already his third business, which was like quite a surprise. And so how much do we know about them, right? How much we think that we innovate, but we innovate for the way we understand the innovation. So how much do we understand how our younger generation understands the innovation, the way how we need to do the business, the way how we will sell, the way how they will structure the new, new relationships, as an example, right? So this mindset clash is quite a big challenge for everybody, right? And we need to understand that now things will be changing. With AI, they will be changing even faster than before. So this has to be taken into account. So like involving more young entrepreneurs to the companies, to the banks, and having them as a consultants probably as well. And we do this on our own. We invite entrepreneurs to work for us in a year, like in a marketing role or in a sales role, just to, to understand how do they think, so we can be closer to the customers. So I think this mindset changing from the ordinary banking that we had before and we have currently as a consumers towards what the future will bring us is something that we need to do.
Thanks a lot. And now on a 1 minute, one-liner or two-liners, what are the products that you're dreaming about in 2030? What do you see coming, or what do you want to see coming?
Imagine, you're linking the process to the SMEs, and therefore you support it. The SME in 2030 won't think about, do I need a lending now? Because there will be a bot identified in the financial data, in all the information that is available, and prepares the lending application for a bank, maybe the bank they already work to, or make an approach in the market, and makes a proposal for the SME, and ready to take it, already pre-checked with the bank. So to get rid of all this paperwork, internally analysis, all that's reduced and ready-made for the customer.
All powered by different APIs.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a similar thing. Let's go. Let's say it's beyond maybe open finance. It's open data. So being able to collect or get even more data in order to make faster decisions without having the need, similar to you, Jürgen, as you said, have efficient processes so that I can really have an app and apply for things, maybe not like in the same country, but from Austria, I want to apply for some certain things in Spain. I should be able to do that. We are in the European Union. We want open borders. This would be a dream to have also digital products working like this.
So my banking dream, it's quite simple. I came to banking via online trading and stock brokerage. So I want to be advised by a bank. Bank has all the data about me, much more than I can actually realize. They have the data about other people. They have the data about the whole economy. I want something, some insights based on what they have as a customer. So that's the retail vision. But in the same time, if I put myself in my current job, I want to have the same experience in SME. Why the bank is not able to advise me on my business in terms of financial planning, in terms of cash flow optimization? I don't want to solve this myself. I want the bank to solve it to me, and I'm happy to pay. It's just like, it does make sense. It's not already solved.
I think this is a connection because as a consumer, you always have, or majority of us has like one primary bank. You get your income to it, and this is where all the data, right? Then you can have savings as well, but still primarily you have one account. For the SMEs, same, I own the bank accounts, we have 20 plus, so how it's, if they are in different banks, one bank, it's, either open bank should solve it, either I should have some avatar assistant, which is provided by intermediary party who will have this information from all of the banks simultaneously and give me an instant information on which I do need right at the moment. It can be cash, it can be payrolls, it can be invoicing. This one should be factored. You always get in little, like always your provider is late or something, right? So this instant information, but not from one bank. We need someone who can actually aggregate the entire SME infrastructure ecosystem from all the banks into one. And it's the future if some regulation would allow us. But let's hope, let's wish.
I like that future. I think my wishes are definitely what you've already been saying, but then again, coming back to the innovation by combination, I would love to see the multi-banking that open banking is providing combined with foreign exchange services, enabling banks to do foreign exchange on behalf of other banks, on behalf of other currencies, on behalf of other markets. I would love to have that packaged for me so that I, for my company, Enable Banking, who is available in 3 countries with 2 different currencies, can create the smart movement of money based on me as an SME. I want to get the real-time data of my business, of my ERP system, in combination with my bank account so that I don't have to wait until the year end to see how my company is doing. I want that picture to get it in real time. And I want to be able to provide the banks this picture or the lenders this picture so that I always have a picture of what's the status of my company right now, how am I doing, what are my covenants right now towards the loans that I have to the banks or to the lenders. I want to see a future where I can give access to the different data points that I have and where I get the value out of that, packaged, hyper-personalized for me as a company. Right now in the Nordics and in Scandinavia, we're seeing how loyalty companies are taking advantage of open banking. And with that, they're providing a hyper-personalized picture of what you, either as a consumer or you as a company, would get out of collaborating with them and being their customers. I would love to be in a situation in the future where I can get that hyper-personalized view of myself. Where am I right now in my financial journey? What are the next steps for me? What are the next investments that I should be taking? How do I become an even better customer? How do I improve my finances furthermore with the setting that I have right now? How can I get that financial advice based on either my personal business or my personal setting or my company's setting? How can I get that hyper-personalized offer? And that's what I think we want to see in the future. Time is running fast. Do we have time for a question? One question. Anyone who has a question? Is anyone awake still? I don't see anything because the lights are so bright.
Anyway, I apologize. I need to run to the kids. So I'm really sorry. But yeah, I'll leave it to my colleagues.
Much,
Thanks
David.
a lot, everyone. It was a pleasure the whole day. And see you soon.
Thank you very much. So with that, we say thank you for this time, and thank you for listening. Thank you for still staying awake this late in the afternoon after having listened to so many interesting panels and talks and discussions and chats. It's been a pleasure. I hope to see you all again.
Thank you.
Thank you.